YouTube, Rook here from Rook, Geek, Goodness, my little channel on the interweb for all things geeky and cool. And this video, guys, is something a little different that I don't normally shoot content about. I've been wanting to put this video up for a while. I've talked about it on my streams. I've talked about it in other videos before. But what are we going to be doing in this particular video? Well, we're going to be doing a comparison and contrast, sort of what are these things all about. We're going to be talking about Funko Pop Rides versus Funko Pop Deluxes. That's what all this stuff across my table that you may see here. We're looking at Funko Pop Rides versus Funko Pop Deluxes. So what I'm going to be doing in this particular video is I'm going to be using a reference material throughout this entire video called Stashpedia. Stashpedia is a mobile application that I currently use on Android. I think it's available on iPhone as well, to basically track your pop collection, your pops and your Dorbs that you currently have. It basically keeps track of all your items in your collection and the values of those particular pieces in sort of eBay-based pricing. It also can be used to follow other people if you know their sort of Stashpedia handle. But before I do anything so far, I have to let you guys know now, I'm not being sponsored by Stashpedia. This is not a paid promotion. This is my experience, my knowledge, and personally, my opinion based on Pop Rides versus Pop Deluxes. So the very first thing we have to do is define those two terms, Pop Rides and Pop Deluxes. We're going to tackle the Pop Rides first. If you're a new subscriber to my channel, or you may be new to Funko, you may not even know what the heck is a Pop Ride. A Pop Ride is one of these two items that you see here. There are many Pop Rides in Funko. We have, of course, Wonder Woman and her invisible jet, Marvin the Martian and his rocket. You can get, let's say, Marty McFly in the time machine. You can get Daenerys and Drogon from Game of Thrones. You can get Batman in a Batmobile. You can get Deadpool in the Chimichanga trucks in multiple variations of colors. Those are just simple, a few examples of Pop Rides. When you find a Pop Ride, you'll know it because the actual packaging tells you. Like, this is the Marvin the Martian packaging here. It says Pop Ride. Right in the corner in the word bubble, that's how you know it's a Pop Ride, at least when you see it sitting on the shelf. Price point for that item is a bit steep. I actually bought it at about $40 online at Funko, limited to 3,000 pieces worldwide. It's extremely expensive, and I did a full review on this guy, which I'll link in the description box of this video. I wasn't happy with this particular item just because the rocket ship was so tiny. So, what makes a Pop Ride a Pop Ride? What basically is it all about? Well, it has basically two parts. We'll use Wonder Woman and her invisible jet, since I always use this as a point of reference in a lot of my videos because I think there's so much value tacked into this item. A Pop Ride usually comes in two parts. You have the pop itself, which can be removed from the vehicle. You can have the vehicle and the pop displaying side by side, or you can have the actual pop inside the vehicle. She's kind of hard to stand right now because she's very, very top heavy because of the amount of hair. She is articulated like a normal pop does. This would be more of her traditional Wonder Woman outfit if you were curious. Now, she does have peg points in the feet. Now, your first question might be saying is, well, Rook, can any pop go in a Pop Ride? No, unfortunately, they cannot. They have to have peg points, and they gotta have peg points that are sculpted to fit in that particular Pop Ride. If another Pop Ride would have identical peg points, then you could, in fact, swap them back and forth between the different rides, which I think is very, very cool if you wanted to go that particular road. Maybe, let's say, the guy from Fast and Furious may have the same plug points. You could put Wonder Woman in his car and the Fast and Furious guy into her invisible jet. Kind of mix and match, hot swappability. I do like that. Of course, we have Marvin the Martian here, which I mentioned I wasn't a big fan of. The rocket ship was very, very small, and he was in a very, very weird pose. But both these items right here, both these two pieces, would be defined as Pop Rides. You have a pop, you have a vehicle, you can take the pop out of the vehicle, and you can put it back inside. You can display it in multiple configuration types. In the vehicle, out of the vehicle, whatever you wanted to do. Price points usually for Pop Rides come in about $25 to $40, usually US, usually from what I've seen. Now on this side of the table here we have what are called Pop Deluxes. Now what is a Pop Deluxe? Well, I can tell you about 8 months ago, I did not even know what a Pop Deluxe meant. I was doing a lot of research, looking up things, and I kept seeing the terminology popping up in Stashpedia as, or that time it was called Poppedia, as Pop Deluxe. I'm like, what the hell is a Pop Deluxe? Mainly Pop Deluxe, from what I've seen so far, and I could be wrong, but all my research points out to this, it's all based on the Star Wars property. A Pop Deluxe is sort of a hybrid between a Funko Pop and a vehicle. That's kind of what it is. We'll take, for example, the speeder bike here with Wedge. This was a Walgreens exclusive. Price point, I believe, was $24.99. Now, this is considered a Pop Deluxe. It is a bobblehead pop with a vehicle and a base. You have the Star Wars branding on it. It's very, very small. It is a bobblehead. It's about this size here. I would say it's a little smaller than the rocket ship in size. His price point was $24.99. Like I said, this was a Walgreens exclusive. This is defined as a Pop Deluxe. Now, you cannot detach this from the Snowspeeder. This is all one solid piece, cannot be removed. There is a bit of articulation with the back harpoon gun, which can come out, mainly I would say because of packaging, I would say. But there is no other articulation with this particular item as far as I see. And the harpoon gun just came out, as you saw right there. That is considered a Pop Deluxe. Same thing goes with the Slave One Boba Fett. This happened to be, I believe, a New York Comic-Con exclusive. I could be wrong there. This is also considered a Pop Deluxe. His price point was $40 US. Extremely expensive. Now, if you look here, he's about the same size as the Snowspeeder in size and comparison as far as scale goes. About the same. Same type of idea, bobblehead, no pop body, but it cannot be detached from this actual vehicle. All you see is the head shaking around with the actual pop itself. That's considered a Pop Deluxe. Now you see two other items here on the far side of the table. You have, in this case, Leia with the Snowspeeder, and you have Han Solo on the Tauntaun. These are also considered, with a little caveat, Pop Deluxes. This guy, there's a little caveat, we'll talk about that in a second. The Leia on the speeder bike, which is this one right here, I got this on a toy hunt, had a price point, I believe, of $29. I could be off on the pricing, but she's a little different than, let's say, the Boba Fett and Slave One. This almost looks like a pop. This is a pop, basically riding a vehicle. She cannot detach from this vehicle. She is stuck in this pose on the bike. You can't remove her. She is a bobblehead, like we normally see, but she cannot be moved or removed from this vehicle. She's in this particular position. Now, the odd thing about it, we'll get back to her in a second, is the Han Solo with the Tauntaun. This was a Smuggler's Bounty exclusive, meaning a Funko box exclusive item. I got him at a toy, I went to a convention on a toy hunt to get him at a SuperCon, I believe it was last year. This is where I got this guy here. This one is really, really cool. I bought him separately for, I think it was $30 I bought this guy for here. He can also not detach from the Tauntaun. He can be removed from this base, as you see me doing here, but he cannot be detached from the Tauntaun. I gotta put his feet back in, there we go, right there. But he cannot be removed, meaning a pop itself cannot be pulled from the Tauntaun. He's locked in his position. Very similar to Leia on the actual speeder bike. Now, I did actually pick up the Chase version, which is the Luke Skywalker version. This is what the Chase would look like of, in this case, Luke on a speeder bike. Now, one thing to take note when you see the packaging, there is no branding of Deluxe. It doesn't say this is a Pop Deluxe. Anywhere on this packaging, it does not mention it. The only time they really mention the terminology Deluxe is basically on websites, or if you're looking to purchase it, or Stashpedia. Another one, for example, would be the Boba Fett one. This is what his packaging would look like. Again, no mention on the pop bubble as to compare and contrast the Pop Ride Marvin the Martian. The Marvin the Martian one, which is this one here, has Pop Ride. This one doesn't have the terminology Deluxe written anywhere on this box. And this is what I think confused me a lot when I was hearing the terminology Deluxe being referenced in the Funko community. I'm like, what the hell is a Deluxe? A Deluxe, in this situation, again, is two parts. You have two different variations of Deluxes. This is a Deluxe, and this is they're both considered Deluxes. I was calling them hybrids for a while, just for lack of a name. I didn't know what they were called until I was told what it is. Now, there is two caveats that I've come across in my research. One refers to the speeder bike. As I said, this is considered a Pop Deluxe. The Luke one, which was this one here, which I just showcased to you guys, this one right here, is considered a Pop Deluxe as well. About a month and a half ago, they came out with a release for an Ewok version. It's identical to this one here. There's no difference between this one and the Ewok one, short of the character being displayed. You have an Ewok instead of Leia. All the research, and I'll put a picture up so you can see what I'm talking about, all the research I've been seeing doesn't have that listed as a Deluxe. It's just Ewok on the speeder bike. And I'm very, very confused by that. I've checked a lot of websites and they call it Ewok on a speeder bike. Some places call it, Ewok with speeder bike Deluxe, Pop Deluxe. But like Stashpedia doesn't have it listed as a Deluxe. So I'm completely confused why a newer item, which is basically just a resculpt of the actual speeder bike with both Leia and Luke is not considered a deluxe. I don't know why. I think it might be a typo. That's what I'm thinking. But you have such a massive community on Stashpedia, and it's linked into Funko now, where people get a lot of information from Funko. I know they're not together as far as branding goes, because there's two separate companies, but you would think someone would have fixed that mistake. I don't know the reason why they would do that. It's very, very baffling to me where both this one and the Chase version are deluxes, but the Ewok one is not a deluxe. I think it's a typo. That's what I'm guessing at. The next one, I want to make the caveat of this one, of the Han Solo and Tauntaun. This item here fits the deluxe mold, meaning you're on a vehicle, you're on something else, and you have basically a pop-based figure, but this one here, the Han Solo, is not called deluxe either. Now, the reasoning I'm thinking why this isn't a deluxe is because the whole deluxe mentality, or the whole branding of deluxe, came out after this was originally released, I believe, which I think started with Kylo Ren and his Interceptor. I think that might have been one of the first deluxes. I'll put a picture up for you guys so you can see it. I think that was maybe one of the first deluxes that was available for the Star Wars brand. I'm guessing, I could be wrong, but this is not a deluxe. You would think if this one is a deluxe, then the Han Solo should be a deluxe as well. They should just go back into, let's say, Stashpedia or any website that has this information and make that change as well to make it consistent. I like myself to have consistency. If you're calling this Snowspeeder here a deluxe, and you're calling the Boba Fett here a deluxe, and you're calling this one a deluxe, why isn't the Han Solo a deluxe? That's my question. That's my confusion. I wanted to point that out to you guys, my audience. I'm a little bit confused by that. I think it may be because, like I said, it came out after, or came out, excuse me, before the whole idea and the branding of the actual deluxe-based pops. Now, let you guys know, you may see on websites like, say, Amazon, large-scale pops, and let's say the 6-inch scale, called Pop Deluxes too. I've seen that for, let's say, the Hulkbuster for the new Avengers Infinity War. A couple listings has it as Pop Deluxes. I don't think it's considered a Pop Deluxe. I don't know why they use that terminology. Maybe because they think it's a 6-inch class figure and they're calling it deluxe. Don't get confused on it, guys. It looks like anything deluxe is branded with Star Wars, at least from what I'm currently seeing, and that's why I think going forward, they're going to keep that brand type to deluxe. It's a very odd sort of character when you're comparing the rides to deluxes, because again, to just sum up, Pop rides, you have a character inside a vehicle that can be detached. A deluxe, in this case, cannot be detached, and they come in two variations. You have the complete little small vehicle with the Funko Pop head, or you have a sculpted Pop attached to a vehicle that cannot be detached. That's the point to take away from this video, guys. You cannot remove the Pop from the vehicle itself. That's how you kind of know if it's a deluxe or not. I've not seen anything, like I said, outside the Star Wars branding. So I hope this sort of video info drop makes a little bit of sense to you guys. I know it ran a little bit long, but I wanted to make this video for you guys, my audience. And I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Definitely comment in this particular video, and I hope you definitely like it. Click that like button at the bottom of the page. Click that subscribe button with a picture of my face. Click the bell icon to be notified of my latest videos. And of course, last but not least, you can click Windows over here to watch more of my content. Take care, guys. I'll see you next video, and bye-bye.